Join us as we explore Doha Qatar together, where I'll share my real travel experiences and show you top 10 best things to do in Doha Qatar, from Souq Waqif to Katara Cultural Village. In this Doha travel vlog, I'll guide you through the exactly what to do in Doha in one day, including Dhow boat cruise, Villaggio Mall, Education City and Place Vendome to make your visit unforgettable. By the end of this Doha travel video, you'll have the most important information for planning your Doha trip, and I'll be waiting for your likes and your specific questions in the comments. When I first stepped into Souq Waqif, I felt as though I had traveled back in time, with the narrow alleys, spice-filled air, and traditional architecture painting a vivid picture of Qatar's heritage. As I wandered deeper into the souk, I found myself stopping at stalls filled with colorful textiles, handcrafted souvenirs, and even falcons, which fascinated me since they are such an important part of Qatari culture. One of my favorite moments here was sitting at a small cafe, drinking Arabic coffee while people from all around the world walked past, creating a lively atmosphere that never felt rushed. In the evening, the souk truly came alive, with glowing lanterns lighting the pathways and the sound of laughter and conversations filling the night air. Every visit to Souq Waqif felt different, and I always discovered new corners, making it one of those places you simply cannot skip in Doha. One of the best ways I connected with the culture of Qatar was by sitting down at a traditional restaurant and tasting authentic dishes that locals have cherished for generations. I still remember my first plate of makbouz, a fragrant rice dish often cooked with spiced chicken or lamb, which was rich, flavorful, and completely satisfying. Trying hares gave me a deeper appreciation for the simplicity and heartiness of Qatari cuisine, especially because it is often made for special occasions and shared with family. The highlight of my dining experiences, however, was enjoying luqaimat, small sweet dumplings drizzled with date syrup, which instantly became one of my favorite desserts. Meals in Qatar felt less like eating and more like storytelling, with each dish reflecting the country's traditions, making every bite memorable. The National Museum of Qatar left a lasting impression on me before I even stepped inside, because its architecture, shaped like a desert rose, is one of the most striking buildings I've ever seen. Walking through its galleries, I was captivated by how the exhibits beautifully told the story of Qatar's transformation from a desert nation into a global hub of culture and innovation. Equally fascinating was my visit to the Museum of Islamic Art in Doha, where the geometric design by architect Impe created a sense of harmony with the blue waters of the Corniche. Inside, I marveled at centuries-old manuscripts, ceramics, and calligraphy, each piece revealing the richness and diversity of Islamic culture across the world. Both museums gave me not just knowledge, but also moments of reflection, and I walked out feeling more connected to Qatar's past, present, and vision for the future. When I visited Katara Cultural Village, I was struck by how seamlessly it combined tradition and modernity, with beautifully designed mosques, open-air amphitheaters, and contemporary art galleries all in one space. As I strolled through the village, I found myself drawn into exhibitions and cultural performances that gave me a deeper sense of Qatar's creative spirit. I especially enjoyed walking along the Qatar beachfront, where families gathered and children played, creating a warm and welcoming environment. One evening, I was fortunate enough to catch a live performance, and the energy of the crowd made the experience feel intimate and unforgettable. What I loved most about Qatar is that it always feels alive and dynamic, offering something new to see and experience every time you return. The first time I explored the Mina District, I was amazed by its colorful pastel buildings and lively marina, which gave it a refreshing and distinctly Mediterranean vibe. As I explored the Mina fish market, I was fascinated by the lively atmosphere where fishermen displayed the fresh catch of the day, showcased Doha's authentic blend of tradition and everyday life. Stopping at one of the outdoor cafes, I spent a quiet afternoon sipping coffee and watching the gentle waves, which made me feel completely relaxed. The streets were filled with artistic details, from painted walls to quirky shops, making the entire area one of the most photogenic places I visited in Doha. It was the kind of place where I could wander without any plan and still leave with some of my favorite memories and photos from the trip. When I first walked into Villaggio Mall, I was immediately surprised by its Venetian-inspired design, complete with painted skies and indoor canals that made me feel like I was strolling through Italy. I even took a gondola ride inside the mall, which turned an ordinary shopping trip into a playful and memorable experience that I never expected in the middle of the desert. On another day, I explored Place Vendome, a luxurious shopping complex inspired by Paris, where the elegant architecture and outdoor fountains gave the whole place a grand and glamorous atmosphere. Even if you're not a big shopper, these malls are destinations on their own, with restaurants, entertainment, and endless spots for taking beautiful photos. For me, visiting these malls was not just about buying things, but about enjoying an entire lifestyle experience that perfectly reflected Doha's modern side. Walking through Msheireb Downtown Doha, I was struck by the balance between modern innovation and respect for heritage, with beautifully restored traditional houses standing beside cutting-edge architecture. The pedestrian-friendly streets made exploring comfortable and enjoyable, even in the heat, with shaded walkways and open plazas that invited me to linger. Inside the Msheireb museums, I gained a deeper appreciation for Qatar's history, especially how the country transformed so rapidly while still holding onto its cultural identity. I spent hours admiring the details in the design of the buildings, from the stonework to the play of natural light, which created a calm and inspiring environment. Visiting Msheireb felt like walking into the future of Doha, where sustainability and heritage work hand in hand to shape a new kind of urban life. One of the most magical evenings I had in Doha was taking a traditional Dhow boat cruise along the Corniche as the sun began to set. The gentle rocking of the wooden boat and the golden glow of the skyline reflecting on the water created a scene that felt almost dreamlike. On board, the soft lights and warm breeze made the experience feel cozy and romantic, while still offering a sense of adventure. As I looked back at the shimmering towers of West Bay, I realized that seeing Doha from the water gave me an entirely new perspective of the city. If you want a peaceful yet unforgettable memory, a Dhow cruise is something I would recommend to every traveler visiting Qatar. The first time I explored the Qanat quarter on the Pearl, I couldn't believe how much it felt like being transported to Venice, with colorful buildings, canals, and charming bridges everywhere. Walking through the narrow streets, I stumbled upon hidden cafes and boutique shops that made the area feel lively and authentic despite its European-inspired design. Nearby, Gewan Island impressed me with its modern elegance, offering wide promenades, luxury residences, and beautiful sea views that felt both exclusive and inviting. I enjoyed simply strolling around these areas with my camera, capturing photos that looked like they belonged in both Europe and the Middle East at the same time. Together, the Qanat Quarter and Gewan Island gave me a sense of how Doha creatively blends international influences with its own unique style. When I first approached the Education City Mosque, also known as Minaretein, I was amazed by how its bold modern lines blended beautifully with traditional Islamic elements, making it one of the most striking mosques I have ever seen. Stepping inside, the serene atmosphere and carefully designed interior invited me to pause and reflect, giving me a peaceful break in the middle of my busy travels. Just a short walk away, the Qatar National Library absolutely impressed me with its futuristic architecture, where the massive glass walls and open design created a bright, inspiring space for exploration. Inside the library, I felt like I could spend hours wandering through endless shelves of books and archives, while also enjoying the feeling of being in a cultural hub that welcomes everyone. To get around the vast campus, I hopped on the sleek Education City tram, which glided smoothly past impressive architecture that perfectly captured Doha's balance between innovation and heritage. This brings us to the end of my journey through Doha City, where I shared my personal experiences of the best things to do in Doha, Qatar, and gave you honest advice on Doha attractions. I hope this travel vlog answered your questions about what to do in Doha in one day, while also giving you useful travel tips to make the most of your adventure. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more guides, and if you need more information, feel free to ask me in the comments.